Good morning, everyone. How you doing, Bobby?
Doing pretty good, Ed. How about yourself?
I can't complain. We have a lot of water.
We have more water than what we can store right now,
I
right?
didn't understand. You're like, oh, everybody's like, you're gonna have to take water out of your pool. I'm like, what? How do you get the water out of your pool?
Oh yeah,
I know how to now.
yeah, true, huh? Because you're a new pool owner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you got to
And then it's like,
backflush it.
we haven't had this much rain since like 2008, right? And even back then, we still had no storage. So you'd think almost like, what's that, 12 years, 14 years later, we would have storage for this stuff, and we still don't.
Yeah. Well, that's how politicians, stay in business here in California, is they keep, kicking the can down the road.
No, they don't want the ones in control of the political process in California. You can figure out who that is. They like to have emergencies so that they can get free money from the federal government. That's what it is. Because if they fix the water stuff and they got rid of the trees in the forest, the extra trees, we wouldn't have fires and we wouldn't have water problems. And they don't want that. Because how do they sell agendas? And I'll move on.
That's what I mean. That's how they stay in business.
Right? I know, but I'm just saying that's it. We could fix this very easily, but this is something that we've been complaining about for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, even Colorado has the same problem because they don't let them, clear the forest because of some, which my brother-in-law would call it, tree hugger, gets in the way and stops them. Yeah. Right. And they don't understand when you thin the forest, that's the best thing you can do for trees and animals and everything else to live and survive, because it kills so many animals when that fire goes through.
So I mean, obviously here in California, we got the whole plastic bag situation, right? 10 cents a bag, which,
well, not only that, do you know those little plastic ones you put your fruit into and your vegetables? Those are going to be gone too.
Are you kidding me?
No, they can't have those anymore.
Gotcha.
Once they're gone, they're gone.
But, then you see all these environmental reports about all these plastic bags that make their way to the ocean and they're filling the landfill. It's like, yeah, the original green idea was cutting down trees, making paper bags, and growing more trees, make paper bags.
Well, now they're back to paper bags.
Yeah, but they're going to charge you 10 cents for it now.
Well, that's because it's a convenience fee.
Yeah.
And no, but let's bring in a dirty one from home that you haven't cleaned forever and sit it on the counter and touch everything with it. So that's a problem.
Yeah, good way to spread germs, right?
Yeah. Well, we went through COVID. Let's move on. Yeah. Enough about spreading germs. Let's spread some cheer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rates have been rallying this week, and they did last week, because unfortunately the numbers that are coming out are bad. What I mean by that is the manufacturing number came out, even though the employment number showed a certain thing, or growth, within employment. It was wrong numbers showing we actually lost and stuff. And so the bond market and rates have been rallying the last few days. I mean, not through the roof, but it's getting better each day. And that's I'll take a little 30 basis points every day versus losing it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to, like we talked about this year, we're going to see rates go down. And the closer we get to March, the worse it's going to get with competition. Stop waiting. I think a lot of people think that the market is so bad that they can write it. If somebody has a house listed for 600,000, they can write an offer for some ridiculous amount. Is that the case?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they think it, but I'm saying, is it really the case that you can write it for whatever you think? So I heard from somebody that's saying, we're telling all our clients to write it for 15% under listing. Yeah, not in California. They're in other states.
Okay.
I could see that in Las Vegas. I can see that in Texas. I can see that in some of the places that everybody went to and pushed it up. But when you leave someplace like California and people come in and fill it up, and we have such a shortage of homes because we didn't build anything. I don't see that happen. You're able to do that. You tell me you're a buyer agent, a buyer's agent, listing agent. What's going on?
Yeah. So we are seeing, pretty aggressive offers from buyers. And the truth of the matter is,
when you say aggressive, explain that to me.
Yeah.
Show me an example.
Okay. Here's
say an example.
So we just recently did a price reduction on one down to $765, right?
From
we
$799 or something like that.
Or no, from $850.
Okay.
When we first went on the market, we had comps at $850. And we've seen obviously a slight softening in the market, right?
Right, but but you also have to be careful. So is this tract homes?
No.
Okay, so here's what people don't understand, and I'll let you finish in 1 second. Let me just explain to people. If you live in the college area of Modesto, right, every home is unique and different. Sometimes of the year you have higher price home selling, and sometimes a year you have lower price home selling. And so unless it's track homes, you can't really go off of this is what it's worth and this is what we're able to give it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, my house on Brady, sometimes a year is worth a lot and sometimes a year is worth a lot less.
Yeah.
And just because of what's sold in the last 90 days. And people take that as everything's going down. No, that's the median price. So I'm just explaining to people, just because you see certain numbers doesn't mean it actually went down that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So, have a sense of urgency to get this home sold. So we did an aggressive price reduction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're at 765. And when people see price reductions, at least buyers right now in this market, they're saying, aha, I smell blood in the water. Let's go ahead and go even lower. And so we got a cash offer. Can I discuss that?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
You didn't say where it's at, right?
Yeah.
This is a hypothetical situation.
Yeah. So we got a
hypothetically, if I had a house listed that we did a price reduction of to 7, whatever, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, we got it for a cash offer for significantly under, right? And it's just like, well, what is the point? Why would you even waste your agent's time?
So if somebody was writing an offer for cash on a property that is listed for let's just say 750, and they wrote a cash offer for
700,
right? Would that be would somebody take a $50,000 loss?
No.
Okay.
No, and as a buyer, you have to ask yourself, why would this person, all of a sudden want to take a big loss on their house?
Right.
Right? Like, what's the difference in between waiting a couple more months on the market and trying to find the right buyer for it?
And it depends on if they're here, if they need to sell the house because they're moving, right, or closing on another house. I could see occasionally, because I know of one up in Tuolumne County where somebody's in contract and she got it for 100 and some less than what they had it listed for. But that's a different scenario, because if you have a $900 to $1 million home in Tuolumne County up in the mountains, that's a unique buyer going to the mountains to buy a $900 to $1 million home. They're either going to live there or they're very wealthy from the Bay Area, right? Well, that's a small percentage. What is that? 1/10 of 1% that wants that property. So you're going to get scared if you need to do it. And I can see the price reduction, or somebody offers some ridiculous number. You might take it just because you got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
But if it's a standard home, 500 to 800,000, and there's no reason, they're not going to take $50,000 less. So what we're trying to get at is don't piss off the seller.
I can say that's the best way to start off a bad relationship. Say for some reason,
we wanted you to counter back.
Yeah.
They're not going to need to.
Yeah. I still tell my buyers in this market, submit your highest and best.
Right.
Don't be insulting, because you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, the sellers might have their house priced at a point where they need to sell it. So let's not lowball them, because all it does is it starts out a transaction in a with a bad taste in their mouth,
Right. But you have these people who think this market we're at a bubble and they're going to take advantage of that situation. Yeah. And in some areas of the United States, you could do that and get away with it.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, friends of mine, I should say friends of Marsha's that I know, they were bought in Las Vegas, and the agent we've had on here before, Courtney Buford, he represented them, and they bought a new home track, and I think they went from 800 and something and got it for 695. But it had fell out of escrow. There are other issues, and it was a new home that they just wanted to get, because everybody was worried. Las Vegas was hurting big time. All of a sudden, the last 6 months, it was like everybody was like, didn't come there anymore. That was the thing. Everybody was moving out of certain states to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's still happening, just not at the numbers that we're doing before.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we just got with some of the new places that people went to with all the new homes that were being built, they're just gone because people rather go buy a new home than an older home. Some people.
Yeah.
And I just think that slowdown shocked everybody. Well, it's kind of hard to afford something. Before I could talk to 10 people and get 10 people into homes. Now I talk to 10 people and it's about 2 people get into homes.
Yeah.
Right. Because they can't qualify, they this or that, or it's just not right for them. They have to wait a few more months. So that's the difference. So,
yeah. Well, and so buyers, let's play fair out here, right? Because like you said, inventory is not changing. There might be different circumstances depending on the house, right? But the other thing this is kind of like for those cash buyers, right? Is cash buyers they always come in low, and they think that their offer is better than everyone else because they have cash, right? But I tell you what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. When it closes, the seller gets paid, So, in some circumstances, say a cash buyer comes in and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going to ask for any repairs. I see you got about, $15,000 in pest work, or you got termites, or something like that." That's a different story. But one thing I do caution my sellers is, hey, you accept this cash offer, there's pretty good chance they're going to beat you up on inspections and get this purchase price even lower.
Right. And that's not what
Yeah, because cash buyers are investors, right?
Right. And they're going to walk. If there's anything at all, they're going to walk.
Yeah.
Period. They don't care.
Yeah. If you don't give them what they want, they're out of there. Now you're back on the market.
And that's why with the new change where foreclosures have to be the first 30 days to somebody's going to buy it. That's what you want instead of investors. Yeah. And they can't, put them together in packages and sell them off to REITs. That's the best thing, because that's going to protect the average person to owning a home. Because right now you're fighting, not only are you fighting against, if you're buying a house and there's 4 people looking at, one of those 4 people are going to be investors.
Yeah.
Trying to buy that, because 1 in 4 properties right now is sold to an investor. And that's great for if you're the investor.
Yeah, just remember, investors don't give you top dollar.
And they're going in for a reason. It's not what they sell the house for; it's what they buy the house for. Is where they make their money.
Yeah.
But long term, more people are going to have to rent, and so they're going to make money for many, many years. Where no other time in history we have that, and that's all happened because of 2008, that downturn in the age. They were able to pick up properties for inexpensive, and that's why this happened the way it is.
Yeah.
So
I remember when we bought our first house, there was a foreclosure, and we bought it for $88,000. And the market continued to go down. But when it was time for us to sell, I had remodeled it, and so we listed it at $100,000, and we had, I think, like 6 or 7 offers within the first 24 hours, and that was
a while back.
Yeah, that was in 2012. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah, because prices back then were way lower than they are now.
Yeah, I was trying to think of my son's birthday, and
I'm just saying that was because from 2008 to 2012.
Yeah,
we went up, but to the bottom of the market at that point was December of 2008 for us here in the Valley. That was the bottom, and then it started going up. But I mean, people in the airport, they were getting houses in the airport district for $25,000, right? Yeah. You can't even get a lot with the with the sewer system put in and everything else around for that. Yeah. And so you get the whole house, and then people rented it and they made money, and it's a totally different world. Right now, West Side is going for $400,000 a year.
Yeah,
a year. I'm sorry, $400,000.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. Purchase price, which is shocking, which that used to be 100 to 200,000 a few years ago.
Yeah,
but that's what happens over time. I mean, we're back to where our prices were before the downturn, and we're above that. So we finally come back and go over. Well, we're not going to drop 50% because we don't have a housing crisis. We have an information crisis. So.
Well, and buyers, when you're hearing us talking about how 1 in 4 competing buyers is an investor, don't get discouraged by that, because there's been plenty of scenarios where investors have come in, say, a few $1,000s over, and the seller actually wants a family to buy the home, and so the investor doesn't get their offer accepted even though they came in higher. So
yeah, the only time that somebody wants an investor instead of a homeowner is if they don't like their neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah,
because there's that one on that street that's all you can tell is a rental because of how it looks.
Yeah,
so because they don't take care of it. Not always, but just sometimes. That.
Yeah, 1 in 20 will take care of it.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So get out there, buy, stop looking at, and do not write an offer that's ridiculous. Please listen to the professionals. Yeah. That would be your buyer's agent, and just write it for what they say. Hey, this is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
because I know years ago, one of my agents up in Swami, I mean, he was notorious for just writing ridiculous offers, and he occasionally got them accepted. But you mess up, you piss people off.
Yeah.
Right. And especially in this market when they're already known, hey, I'm going to give you money for closing costs to help you get moving on this. And so you don't have to pay it. That's not make it worse.
That's what drives me nuts is when people come in with a lowball offer and then they're asked you to give them like 3% towards closing costs. Like, no, man.
I know, but they can ask.
Can you do the math?
But they can ask. Doesn't mean you're going to get it.
Yeah, it's swing for the fences, but like I said, say we counter you now. We've already started off with the
but you're not going to
distrust.
You're going to say my seller told me not to even submit any offers that are not anywhere close to this.
Yeah.
Any offers that low, my seller told me not to even waste his time on.
Put it in the notes. No low balls, right?
Well, just put, seller, or just when they send you that offer and just reply back and say, hey, my seller said no, and just sign the thing and send it back to them.
Yeah.
So we're not going to counter. We don't counter ridiculous offers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of buyers don't understand that.
Yeah.
They think, oh, well, okay, we're going to do this, and then they'll counter back, and we'll do this, and we'll go back.
No, we'll haggle, right?
Right. And they're like,
market.
no, we don't want this. They haggle when it's priced right and there's a bunch of competition is when the haggling comes. When it's priced low because they're trying to get out of it and still make money off it, don't waste their time. Because if they don't need the money out of it, if they can buy the other place that they're moving to without it, or gets a HELOC to do that, I would rent it and then just wait till 2024, because it's going to be crazy in 2024.
Well, and I tell buyers, I say, look, the last thing you want to start getting into is counter offers, right? That right there says we already haven't come to agreement. You didn't write me a good offer to start with,
right?
And in my experience, once you get into like your second counter offer, that deal is it's going to blow up in your face.
Well, and it's not been accepted yet, so they could get another offer in that's higher than yours and just accept it right away. I don't think people understand that as buyers is,
you're running that risk.
If you write an offer, they counter you back. If you sign that, you get the place.
Yeah.
Right. It's yours. If you counter them back, they can say no, and then it's done. You're not in contract.
Yeah. And unless you change timeframes, that's 3 days that they have to respond. They could easily get another offer in that time frame.
Correct. Especially now, because it's changing. A lot more people are coming out of the woodwork going, all right, I know where it's going. Rates are coming down. This is a great time to buy. They're hearing it. They understand it now. People are more educated. They know where the rates are. They know they're going to be refinancing. Everybody is different than 6 months ago. And that's what you have to worry about as a buyer. If you want the house, find out what you need to write it for. Make sure you can make the payment. And whatever you're writing it for, talk to your lender. Hey, what's my payment on this? We're writing it for this right now. What's my payment today on this number? Mm-hmm. So that way, when they come back 3 days later, they don't go, what? My payment's $500 more a month. Right. Yeah. So as you write your offer and you get the new updated pre-approval for that dollar amount, ask what that payment is as of today. So, All right. Thanks, Bobby, for being here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Make it a great day.